Hey guys, welcome back to part 3 of a Revell 125th 67 Chevelle video build. We're going to start working on the interior today. As you can see, my interior has been flocked. My wonderful assistant Hannah has flocked it for me. I will do a video one day on flocking. I keep promising this, but I will. It is coming. This is Pro Scale anthracite flocking and it looks absolutely fantastic. Literally a coat of enamel black paint and our flocking sprinkled on top and the excess tipped away, and it is job done. Now I'll put my chromed gear shifter in place. We'll detail paint that later on, and I've just glued in one of the door cards, and we'll do exactly the same for the other side as well. So we've got our Napa black leather interior from Pro Scale, along with our anthracite flocking for the interior. A nice contrasting black on grey black, and I think it looks really good. So happy with this combination. We've got our dashboard, which we are decaling up with the kit decals. So we've got all the speedos and gauges, and there's an extra little pod of gauges at the bottom of the dashboard as well that comes with the kit. So we'll decal those up as well. Exactly the same decal procedure throughout. UMP decal solutions on them to set them in place. Make sure you're where you want them, because once they set, that is it. It is job done. Like I say, there's a few gauges underneath as well, so all 4 of those are placed where they need to be. And there we go, that is the dashboard all decaled up. Now we need to drill holes in the underneath of the floor pan to get our roll cage in place. So pin vise and a drill bit there. You could drill this beforehand. I find it better to do after the flocking so you can actually see the hole. And then actually this located in place really well. No problem. Also, a couple of dabs of CA glue will hold that in place just fine. So just line the holes up, push them in, make sure everything fits, and then pull it back out. Little dab of CA glue. Bob Smith's glue you can get over on our website as well. Pro Scale Paint's website's in the description down below. And there we go. Just carefully pop that back in its holes. Like so. There we go. Line it all up. And there we go. That is in place as well. Now, Edward seatbelts, I will again do a standalone video on these. It will be quite a long video, so I'm not going to include it in a build video, but they are photo etch. There's no real glue involved. It's literally folding pieces over. I might have enough footage from this video to make a standalone video, so if I do, I will use it and make a video on doing these. But basically, it's folded over photo etch via the instructions. As you can see here, it's all on a fret. So you literally cut them off, follow the instructions, and fold them over on each other. I have my Optivisor on there as well. And there we go, there's one build. They're actually really good. I put some 4-point blue ones in. And there's both of them in place as well. And then we've got our Edding paint marker pen, just to highlight the window winders and any other chrome bits we want to do on the car. But yeah, the blue belts, they look really good. They are nice, Edward. I resisted using them for years. And I just thought on an off chance I'll try them. And yeah, I really like them now. They are very good. So we're just gluing the rest of the belts to the back of the roll cage. The rest of it's held in with double-sided tape. And there we go. I think they look really good. I'm just going to pop them in. And there we go. Looking good. Very happy with that. Right then, on to the shock absorbers. So these were painted in silver in, I think it was part 2, was it? We've got some Tamiya red enamel now. I'm just going to brush paint these in red as well. Now again, it might not be totally correct, but this is how I do it. Again, it's a part that's going to be barely seen, and I'm more than happy to paint like this. We've got a Tamiya flat brush. It's one of my older used and abused ones, but still does the job just fine. Just brush paint it on, put it to one side, let it dry, and we can get them installed. And again, the enamel paint covers absolutely beautiful. For brush painting, I think enamel is very hard to beat. It does look good. So some nice careful painting here. We can get it all nicely done. More than happy with that finish. That will do me. And then we can start assembling our wheelie bar and differential on the back as well. So we've got the chromed wheelie bars. These are being glued in place in our bright aluminium differential housing that we painted earlier on. Bit unclear on the instructions where everything's glued together here, a little bit vague, but I figured out in the end. So a little dab of CA glue to hold everything together. Worked very well. And again, the nice chrome wheelie bars looking really good. A little bit fiddly these, but we got there in the end. There we go. Looking very nice. Make sure everything's straight and angled correctly. And then we can finagle it in place, trying to get the drive shaft in, the prop shaft in place, and the wheelie bar in its locating point. I've already put glue in there, so it's a case of just pushing it home. Then we can get our shocks in place, like so. And then try and straighten it all up, so it sits properly and it looks right. So it was a little bit twisted. It did need a little bit of persuasion to get it to sit totally right. But my main concern was to get everything glued in nice and straight for the wheels. And to double check that, the ruler came out to make sure the ride height was correct, which it thankfully was. Yep, happy with that. That's looking good. And then we can test fit the wheels as well. Yep, they're going to look good on there. This car looks great as a Pro Street. These big fat rear tyres are absolutely fantastic. So just push fit those in gently. There we go. So we can show everything's straight again. Nothing's moved. We're all good. These certainly added some weight to the kit. It got instantly heavy. They're very big wheels and tyres. And just making sure that they're located properly on the wheels hub. Same on the front. These just click in place. And again, because of our chrome system, you can handle them to your heart's content. There we go. Now, this is one part I didn't think was going to fit. These intakes, are they line up one stitch higher than the other. I did not think they was going to line up with a hole in the bonnet. I've not much luck in the past with these, but thankfully they did. So a little bit of a test fit there to make sure they glued, well, they would glue in place. Now we've got the rear bumper light housing here. We've got the black decal for it there as well. So this is just peeled off. Now I was going to leave this chrome, but I looked at it and thought, you know what, it actually does look good with the black trim on. So I thought, we'll pop the decal in place. Like I say, I can't find any other 67 Chevelles with this rear light cluster. So if you can, or if you know why this car has a different one, please let me know, because it's really confusing. It's got 4 separate lights, whereas all the Chevelles I see have the lights right at the very edge of that rear panel. So I've got no idea what is going on. It's very odd, but regardless, it still looks good. So I'm happy with that. Decal set in place as usual. Once you're happy where it is, hit it with some decal solutions and set it in place properly. So like I say, I initially wasn't going to add this, but I'm glad I did, because I think it looks good on it. I think it suits the model. Takes a little bit of the chrome away, and just, yeah, I think it just adds a little bit of depth to the back of the car. So, polishing time. So I'm just going to show you one kind of step of this, really, rather than the whole thing. So we've got some Manzana compounds. We've got our Zoom On polishing set on my Proxxon rotary tool. This is the 2500. This is a medium grit compound. I'm just spreading it on the body to spread it round to save the tool flicking it everywhere. My Proxxon is foot operated, so it's a lot easier to use, and it's very low RPM as well. So if you are using these, just really take your time. Be careful of the tool. The yellow part of the actual polishing tool will damage your body if it hits it, so keep it away. And obviously, because this is a coarser compound and polishing pad, just be careful of any edges of the models with the paint thinner that you don't burn through. So I've got the green coarse sponge in. We're using the medium coarse polishing compound as well. I'm just going to run it all over the body. What we're trying to do is get rid of any sanding marks. Now, I have previously sanded this back with the 3M tri-zip pads, but I lost the footage. I don't know what happened to it. It was gone. So it's been taken back with the 6 and the 8000 tri-zip pads to remove any dust spots or any imperfections. And what we're doing now is we're using this to get rid of those scratch marks that are in the 2K and bring it back to a nice high shine. So 3M Trizic 16,000 pads with some water and some washing up liquid. And then the Manzana compound and the Zoom On polishing pads as well. Great combination this. Again, something I resisted using for quite some time and regret it because these are a game changer. This takes 2 hours worth of polishing and turns it into 15 minutes. It's just so much quicker. The result is better. It's much more reliable. It's much more efficient. And it just looks great. It really is. You just need to be careful that you don't burn any of the paint away on the edges. Touch wood, so far I've done okay. But we're going to use the coarse compound and the coarse sponge on the first one, and then on the 3500, which is the finer compound, we're going to use the medium blue sponge, and then for the last one we're going to use the red sponge, which is the finer one, with some Autoglint super resin polish. And as you can see, just off the coarse one, we've got a wonderful shine back to that 2K already. So work your way through systematically for all the compounds and the polish pads. Be careful, cleaning up with a nice clean bit of tissue, or not tissue, cotton cloth as you go, until you're happy with the finish. So apologies if you can hear the mic tapping away. I do apologize. It's me muting every now and then to blow my nose. I do apologise. My sinuses are killing me. I'm having real trouble doing this voiceover. I'm trying to soldier through to get it done, so I do apologise if this video sounds a little bit snotty and a little bit bunged up, because I am. So like I say, just off the coarse compound, the shine we've got there looks absolutely fantastic. So we're going to work our way through the mediums and the super resin polish as well. But I just thought I'd show some of the stages. So this is the side piece, again, with the same coarse sponge and the coarser compound as well. Like I say, just be careful of those edges. The paint's always thinner on the edge. Both clear coat, primer and paint will always go thinner on an edge or a raised area because of just how it is. So don't leave the tool on there for too long. And like I say, be aware when you're compressing that sponge, like I am there, that you don't hit the body of the model with that yellow part of the tool, because it's hard plastic. It will scratch. So just really take your time. And this is one of those things, the more you do, the better you'll get. I like using the Proxon because it's foot operated. I've got a pedal under my bench, so I've got instant control, so I can just stop it and start it when I want. It makes life a lot easier. And like I say, this is a game changer. We've got none of these in stock right now, but hopefully by the time you see this video, they should at least be on the way to me. And I've got loads on the way. There's about 50 sets of them on the way, so we should be stocked up for quite some time. But absolute game changer. Once you're all the compounds, clean it all off, get a toothbrush on all the panel lines, get it out, and then rub it over with your nice cotton bit of cloth. And you'll see the difference in the shine. And as I say, as you work up through the less and less coarser compounds and sponges, the shine will get better and better until it's gleaming like an absolute diamond. It'll look absolutely phenomenal. So we'll go over every square inch of it with the coarse, with the medium, and then the super resin polish as well. And that will give us an absolutely phenomenal finish. Not forgetting our smaller parts as well. Again, coarse compound, coarse sponge. I just thought I'd show it with one of them rather than bits. Like I said, I could do a whole video on polishing a car body, and maybe I will at some point if you think it'd be useful. But it is pretty straightforward and pretty easy to do. Like I say, if you'd like to see a full standalone video, I don't think it warrants it, but if you guys would like to see one, let me know, and I'll try and sort it out. But it is basically this, just this for each one of the different compounds, wiping it off, away you go. So it's just one of those things, like I say, it's like airbrushing. The more you do, the better you'll get, and the more consistent results you'll get as well. And you'll get more confident doing it as well. And this is where 2K comes into its own, because it just polishes up so well. It really, really does. There we go. That's all the bonnet and the body done with the coarse compound and the coarse sponge. We'll then repeat that with the with the fine compound and then the super resin polish as well. We should end up with a beautifully gleaming car. So as you can see here, this is the less coarse compound now. So this, funny enough, feels more gritty then the coarser compound is very, very strange. But I like to rub it on with my finger rather than putting splodges on, because you end up flicking it everywhere. And trust me, it gets bloody everywhere. So I find rubbing it on with your finger, wiping it off, and then going at it with the sponge works best. So this is the finer compound now with the medium sponges. So you'll notice as they get from harsh to medium, fine, they get softer. That's basically how they work. So again, just be careful of the raised areas and all the corners. If you take your time, you'll be just fine. It is definitely worth doing though. So we'll come back and cut to when we're done. And there we go. Right, now we're on to the fine sponge, which is the red one. You can see just how soft this sponge is. It is very soft. And the super resin polish. And the reason I use super resin polish is there's two. Number one, it's been around for decades. It is renowned as being one of the best polishes available. It smells absolutely amazing. And more importantly for me, it doesn't dry chalky. It doesn't go everywhere. And it is a very efficient. And it also has fillers in it as well. So if you do have slight imperfections in your clear coat, it will actually help fill them. It is only temporary, the same way it works on your full-size car, but it will help fill small imperfections. And there we go. That's everything all polished up, and with it all given a nice high shine polish, the clear coat's looking really, really good. Looks absolutely beautiful. Colour looks fabulous. And flatted back and sanded and polished. It just looks, yeah, it looks really good. Very happy with that finish. Excellent. Right then, now we're on to some hand painted. So we've got Vallejo Monocolor Black. We've got a nice flat brush, and we're going to paint all the roof liner in black and the wheel arches as well. I always kind of enjoy this stage because we've got past one of the most, what used to be quite a time consuming stage of polishing the body, and once that was done, to this stage was always like, oh, we're on the home straight now because we can start final assembly. So it was always quite a satisfying part to get to. And I still enjoy it, even though I'm like 180 cars in now. I still enjoy doing this stage. It is quite therapeutic to brush paint from time to time. So the monocolor paints, they lay down beautiful. Like I say, just some careful painting. We get everywhere a nice even colour of black. And there we go. We'll also do under the bonnet as well. So what we'll do is we'll brush paint this and remove any excess later on with a cotton bud, because the beauty of putting water-based paints over 2K is it literally wipes straight off. No issues at all. I moistened the cotton bud. I hence not moistened by licking it. But as you can see, just rub it over gently and it will remove any excess paint. And there we go. It's that simple. It really is. You can mask and paint this should you wish. I think the time taken doing that would be better spent doing other things. So brush painting it for me is more than adequate. There we go. Just go around till you're happy it's all covered or removed. Just be careful of those A and B pillars. Don't be snapping any. And just make sure you got rid of all the black from the chrome work. There you go. As you see, it literally wipes off really easy. There we go. Nice and easy, nice and quick as well. Gets the job done lickety split. Now, lights. We've got the rear lights. Like I say, weird rear lights these. As I said before, if anyone knows the reason I've got these lights on this car, let me know. We've cut them off. We're going all around them with a black Sharpie to get the impression of the seal around the edge of the light. And then we're going to clean off any sprue points to the left. Like so. And there we go. So this just adds a little bit of depth to the model. Makes it look a little bit better. Quick test fit, make sure everything fits fine. We've done exactly the same with the lower, I guess these are reversing lights, are they? We just put a little bit of Tamiya craft bond in for all the lights and then pop them in place. Craft bond works really well on clear parts. Just don't put too much in. The great thing is if too much does squirt out, you can just wipe it off with a wet cotton bud. And there we go. There's all our rear lights in the rear bumper. Let's press it home. Job done. And there we go. Happy with that. Now, rumours may say it, but yeah, I did lick that one actually, did I? I thought I was going to lick it. Anyway, zoom on license plates, US license plates. I absolutely love these. These things are great. Just looking through for an interesting license plate for it. And I think I found a New York one that was black. And I thought, you know what, that quite suit this car. So we're going to go with the bottom right one. These are great. These come with a photo etch backing. It's exactly the same as the decal. Put the photo etch down first, then the decal on top, which is embossed. Obviously, the photo etch is embossed. When you set the decal in place, it settles around the embossing on the photo etch, and it literally looks like a stamped number plate. It is absolutely fantastic, this. Really simple, and it's a really nice touch to the model. It does look really, really good. So the photo etch is glued in place on the bumper. We've got our decal here. We're going to lay it on top, line it all up so all the lettering lines up perfectly with the raised sections on the photo etch. Like so. There we go, that's that in place. Now, the clear parts. So I've laid this in place where it needs to be. We've got some Bob Smith Super Gold. Now, a lesson learned here when you're doing this, don't use the precision nib tips. The static on the glass tends to pull the glue, and you end up with spiders of glue all over the glass. It's happened a few times now. So I've put a piece on a tattooing cup upturned around. And we're just going to put a few strategic dots on the glass, like so. And then we're going to hit it with a micro brush with some kicker on. That will instantly set it in place, like so. Just a quick touch, touch, touch. Dab, 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 dab. Not really a quick touch, that was it. It was quite a long, slow touch. Oh, you pay extra for that normally, I think. Yes, so that's the glass in place. Just a few strategic places. Same on the rear section as well. Just a few strategic points of glue. And then use the kicker. Don't ever spray kicker on the glass. It will ruin the glass in a heartbeat. So I've switched over from my usual kicker. I've been using Zip Kicker for years, and it's always given me a headache. It's awful smelling stuff. And I've recently moved on to the Bob Smiths because we just started stocking Bob Smiths. And what a difference it is. Number one, it smells nowhere near as bad. It actually has a nice fragrance to it, and it doesn't seem to affect me at all. So really nice to have a super glue kicker that doesn't give me banging headaches. The Zip Kicker is horrendous. So if you're looking for a CA accelerator or kicker that isn't really noxious, the Bob Smith is well worth a go. We sell all the Bob Smith glues on our site, as well as precision nozzles and replacement glue tips as well. So head on over there to ProScale and have a look. The link is in the description down below. You can also get most of the paints I use on my kits. We will colour match at no extra cost as well. Over 560 paints in our range at the minute as well as a clear coat. We've got flocking, leather colours, wheel colours, all sorts over there. So have a look. The link's in the description down below. It's proscalepaints.uk. We ship all over the world. We ship to the USA every single day, and we ship all over the world. Now, I've got a little bit of Seagull on the back window. So I've got some Bob Smith Seag debonder on a cotton bud. I'm just going to lightly rub over it. Not hard. Just let the debonder do its job. And then we get a clean bit of cloth. I think I'm actually using my t-shirt there to wipe off the remnants. And it got rid of probably 90% of that CA glue. Did really well. We've got these two little quarter windows here as well. Exactly the same as the rear ones. Just a couple of dabs of strategic CA glue. And then hit it with the kicker to hold these in place. They are tricky, but they're not too bad to put in place. There we go. And then the same on the front lights as well. We'll add the blacks around to them. Using the old Sharpie trick, which does work really well. And then these just are popped in place. So again, we use some Bob Smith gold on these. Just a couple of strategic dabs in place. Now we are going to infill this front grille with some Tamiya panel line wash later on. But for now, we've got the interior glued in place. Just a couple of dabs of glue at the back. Let's get our coil lead out, and we're going to mate the chassis to the body. Now to tight fit this, especially over that engine, so you just need to gently prise apart each side to get each step through. So just be very careful here. Don't force anything. Just be very gentle. There we go. And just lift each side until it goes in, like so. Just need careful managing in place. One more, we should be done. There we go. Now it does need a little bit of glue at the front, and then the kit even tells you it needs a bit of glue just to hold the front in, but that's looking really good. We get our radiator in place. So a couple of dabs of glue at the back there. We'll hold that in place just fine. There we are. We get our upper radiator hose in, and that goes to the water pump, does it? Or thermostat, it might be actually on these. So just line it up, and then line it up with the radiator hole as well. I will super detail one of these engine bays one day. I'll wire it up, put some hoses in there properly. Battery molded into the chassis, not the best, so we'll brush paint this with some Vallejo black as well. And once that's dry, we'll detail it up a little bit with some enamel paint later. But just in case you're using the Vallejo model colour again, just to brush paint it up. And again, if you get any excess paint, it'll just wipe off with a cotton bud. You can see I've got a little bit there. We can soon wipe that off. The engine bay is looking good though. I'm happy with it. We're going with body coloured and clear coated, as I would do if this was my Pro Street. It's looking all right. The windscreen washer bottle, we're painting in white Tamiya enamel as well. Took a couple of coats this one, just because the nature of white always takes a little bit more to cover. And like I say, we're going to glue this front section in place. So a generous bead of CA glue, probably a little bit more than was actually needed, and then we'll hit it with a kicker again. So what I tend to do is take the cap off the kicker normally and spray it in for the micro brushes. But for this, it just needed a quick squirt. Hold it for a second or two, let the kicker evaporate, and that should be instantly bonded. So if I remember right, the instructions did actually call out for some super glue there. On the rear edge of the light fixtures at the back, we've got some Bob Smith's gold. A little bit of a strange fit this. It doesn't really locate, it just sits there. So you kind of got to line it up, and there was a little bit of a gap, which is a bit of a shame, but it's just the way the kit is, I guess. So you kind of got to line it up at the edge. So be careful you don't get any glue on your fingers. You just need to offer it up so it just sits. So make sure it sits perfectly at the top, and then get it as centered as possible on each side. There we go. And door handles, the old Joe Camilleri trick of dress pins. Drill through the appropriate size drill bit. We'll then cut the top off the dress pin, like so. And then with a little dab of glue, we'll just pop these in place, and hey presto, door locks. Not exact, but from the naked eye, from a few feet away, they look good. So more than adequate for me. Can be a little bit tricky to get in, so just a little dab of super glue on there. Push it home, push it in. Let it begin. Pack it up, pack it in. There you go. Bit of crisscross. We've had that before on here, haven't we? I've done that before. There we go. So there's our door locks in place. And then front bumpers on, front grills on. I've got this little bit of trim to go on the top. So a couple of dabs of Bob Smith's. That glues that in perfectly for us. There we go. Now that should allow the bonnet to sit absolutely perfect. We've got our intake funnels in place as well. They've probably got a fancy name. Is it Velocity Stacks? It could be. I need to paint those center of those black, which we'll do in a minute with the Vallejo. Look at that, perfect fit on the front, looks absolutely fantastic. And then a little bit of detail for the battery. We've got some red enamel paint for the battery top-up reservoirs, or the caps. But you don't get any more, do you? They're all sealed batteries now, aren't they? The days of topping batteries look long gone. Unless you have an older one, obviously. So we'll use some enamel red on those from Tamiya, just on a cocktail stick. And then for the terminals themselves, we use some chrome silver again, and a nice fine brush just to paint them. Like I say, one of these cars one day, I'll super detail the engine bay. We'll add some wiring and whatnot, just to make it look a bit more interesting. And while we're there, we'll do the rag cap as well. Yeah, it probably isn't this colour, but mine's silver. And there we go. Job done, looking good. So, like I said, we put a black wash in that grille, let it dry, wiped off the excess, just adds a little bit of depth to it. And then we've added the SS logos to the front and rear of the car as well. Standard decal procedure yet again. Just get them in place till you're happy, and then set them where you want. And then just fixing the wheelie bar at the back that I snapped a little bit off. And then we go. Final piece is a glasses cleaning cloth, some UMP shine spray, and we're going to give it a final spray wax. So basically, spray it on to the cloth, wipe it all over the model. This isn't abrasive or anything. It doesn't need to do anything. You just need to wipe it on, let it haze up and buff it off, and we'll end up with a beautiful high shine finish on our model. So it's been a nice kit to build this. Very enjoyable. It's probably my second Pro Street kit I've built, I think. And like I say, really enjoyable kit to build. No real issues. All fitted together pretty well. And this colour just looks absolutely phenomenal. It really, really does look beautiful. There we go. Like I say, once the shine spray hazes up, just wipe it off with a dry part of the same cloth. You can do all your chrome work as well if it's done with the Pro Scale, because it's all protected. So get a nice high shine on that as well. Like I say, just give it a good buff up. You end up with a beautiful shiny model. And there we go. I think that's build number 9 of the year off the bench now. So not too bad at all. It's looking good. I'm very happy with this one, as I've said. Hopefully something different coming up next. We have got the Ford GT to finish off next. So that's the next video you'll see from me. But the one after that will be a different build. I'm going to post about it later today on Facebook. But for now, here we go. There's the Revell 67 Chevelle in all its glory. She looks good. Lovely clear coat, lovely colour. The Pro Street stance looks absolutely fantastic. We painted in the yellow mark lights on the front as well. Chromes looks good. Paintwheel looks good. 2K looks good. The belts look good inside. I'm happy with those. Very, very nice. And then our engine bay, if I can get to it. There we go. Engine doesn't look bad either. Happy with that. I think it looks alright for a kit engine. And there we go. So like I say, stay tuned for the next build. It's Tamiya's Ford GT. What we're going to do is we'll get some pictures up of this now and have a little chat about what we did. A quick recap of what we did. Right then, so the Revell's 67 Chevelle in 1/25th scale. So this was prepped, as always, with all our kits, the way they're always prepped before primer. Primed in Pro Scale white primer. It was given several coats of Pro Scale turquoise mist from General Motors, which is a beautiful colour. The kit decals were applied. We gave it a black Tamiya panel line wash. We masked and sprayed all the windows with Pro Scale Superfine Silver. It was given a 2K chrome system from Pro Scale as well. No, sorry, the Pro Scale 2K clear coat from Pro Scale. All the chrome was stripped and painted with the Pro Scale chrome system. including the engine components as well. Engine was painted in Pro Scale GM Orange, and we added a Pro Scale distributor to the mix as well, which looks absolutely phenomenal. Interior is a mixture of Pro Scale Napa Black Leather and Tamiya LP5. We use Pro Scale Anthracite Leather on the carpet for flocking, or flocking for carpet. And we added a set of Eduard Photo Etch Blue 4-point harnesses to it as well. The Pro Street stand to this looks absolutely fantastic. I think the colours suit it really, really well. Happy with that engine bay as well. I think that turned out pretty good too. And yeah, it's not a perfect model by a long shot, but I'm more than happy with it. There's lots I could improve going forward, but there's also bits I'm really happy with as well. So I hope you enjoyed watching that as much as me. I do enjoy these Pro Street models. They are pretty cool. I know nothing about them whatsoever, but I just think they look cool. They come in some great colours. And this shot for me did it. This rear on shot looks absolutely fantastic. So there we go. Let's go back to me for some final thoughts. Okay then, there we go. All done. Great build, great kit, really enjoyable, really good fun, and a nice result at the end as well. Very happy how that one turned out. As I said, I know nothing about these cars at all. We don't get them over here. We don't get big block V8s over here. We never have. It's just been, yeah, an enjoyable build from start to finish. I am suffering terribly with my sinuses. They're crippling me. Doing this voiceover for the past hour and a half has been an absolute nightmare. So if I sounded really snotty through it, I apologise. Honestly, I've been stopping to blow my nose every 5 minutes. It's been a nightmare. Bunged up to hell with sinus issues. Absolute pain in the butt. But anyway, there we go. Another build off the bench. I think that's number 9 of the year. You got the Tamiya 4 GT coming next. That was a very kind gift from my buddy Graham. Thank you, mate. Another support as well. Cheers, buddy. That one's coming up very soon. It's actually finished. It's actually there. There it is. Look. Ooh. And then something different afterwards, which I'm not going to say just yet. We've got a multimedia group build that started. It's up there, the calendar time I'm looking. I'm not nuts looking at God. There's a multimedia build started, so anything that has more than just plastic in it, it's going to have resin in it, photo etch, aftermarket bits, whatever. Started beginning of the month, and I've been looking for something to enter into that. So I think I've got my build picked, so you'll see that very soon. So there we are. Have you got any comments or questions? Pop them down below. Yes, I didn't do the firing order. No, I probably didn't do something else right. Yes, that probably didn't come in this year a car. I know nothing about these. I build it for myself. I just envision what would be my build and do it that way. And I probably got all sorts wrong and upset the purists. Apologies if I have, but yeah, I don't know. Ignorance is bliss at the end of the day. That's why I look at it. So you got any comments or questions, pop them down below. Love to hear the comments off everybody. And make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Click that bell notifications, get notified of the latest videos. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. And as I said in the first video and every other video, if you want to get early access to these videos, you become a patron down below. It's 3-month early access to the amount of content I'm making. There's loads. You get 3-month early access on all the videos. You get 10% off with Pro Scale paints. You become a patron of the applicable tier. I think it's tier 4 and higher. You get a Saturday bench update every single week. You get into a Facebook supporter messenger group chat. There's like 70 of us in there. Really good fun group to be in. And there's a Facebook supporter Facebook group as well, which I go for every week on the bench update, looking at everybody's work that's been shared on there. And you keep me able to do this. Without your support, I couldn't do this. The link for patrons down below. There's also Buy Me a Coffee and a PayPal me link if you want to do a one-off. And there's links to everything else in the description of this video. There's Pro Scale paints, the forum, the Facebook page, the group build page, an email address to get in touch with me. My stash is there. What else is down there? There's everything down there. Go in the description of the video. Go and have a look. All the products I use are there as well. Go on down there and have a look. All the links are down below. And there we go. Thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. As I say, if you've got any comments or questions, pop them down below. Love to read them all. Don't always reply, but I do read everyone. I promise you, I read every comment. And we'll be back very soon for the next video. So enjoy the rest of the day, everyone. Take care. And as always, thanks to all my wonderful patrons whose names are going to flash up right now. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.